drama comedy with so much truth and developed by Marty Noxon. Marty Noxon also did Buffy. I don't know if you remember that very, very successful show. But this is an incredible show because I think it appeals to people realizing that not everybody has to get married and that divorce is not always the end of the world. People tend to grow. There are themes of friendship. I love the fashions. I cannot get over that by Miss Summers. And of course, if you take a look at the sets, each one so detailed to match each character. I don't know who your favorite character is. I tend to like all of them, and I like the fact that we can learn lessons. How to be a mean girl. Oh my, that was one. And of course there are others as well. Not everybody has to get married was another. But what really is exciting is that these women have come into their own and they share who they are with you. So we're going to get a few interviews later to find out a little bit more about that. Here with the beautiful Courtney Cooper Hall, and what an exciting day. We're at Southampton Social Health, but let's let you tell a little bit about it, 'cause this is exciting.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it is exciting. It's our 5th annual Hamptons Bite Party, and we're at Southampton Social Club, and the party's about to start in a few minutes, and we're expecting 400 guests, hosted by some of the ladies from Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce on Bravo, and everyone's super excited.
And your magazine is incredible. You have the hard copy, you have it online, you're in
The LA edition.
LA, New York. It's amazing. What I love most, though, is that it appeals to so many different people on so many different levels.
Thank you so much. Well, you know what? I feel that so many of like the magazines out there are very one-dimensional and only speak to, you know, women interested in beauty or fashion. And in Bella, I wanted to speak to every woman about how to feel beautiful and look beautiful. And thank goodness here we are 7 years later. The message is being embraced, and I'm thrilled over it.
Courtney, I do have to ask you this. Bella does mean beautiful. Yes. What have you ever heard is the best definition for beauty?
You know what? It's funny. I mean, I feel that everyone's answer is different. I think the most beautiful thing is feeling confident about yourself, how you look, how you feel. Everyone has their own individual style, and I think that everyone who embraces that really is beautiful. It's not following the herd. It's being yourself and, you know, being beautiful on your own.
To thine own self be true, I guess.
Right.
But the only thing we haven't really discussed is your TV show live from Times Square.
That's right, yeah.
I watch it.
Thank you. We actually launched Bella TV about a month and a half ago in Times Square, and we have a show every Thursday night. And it's everyone on the Bella team just bringing everything in the magazine to the TV and the viewers. And so far it's been fantastic. So we're excited about that new development.
So if I say boom, boom, you'll understand?
Yes, I will.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're
Much
welcome.
success.
Thank you for
Terrific
coming.
seeing you. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
I'm here with the beautiful Lisa Edelstein. Many people knew you from House, Dr.
Yes.
Cuddy, and I know your dad was a doctor.
Yes.
And he advised you. Who advises you on this show?
Not my dad.
Not your
Definitely not my
father.
dad. One time we were watching an episode. He came over to Marty Noxon's house. My parents were visiting, and a whole group of I were watching an episode. And in the middle of it, I realized I had a sex scene, and I was sitting next to my dad. It was hilarious. So I covered his eyes and then tried to make sounds over the sound of the sex scene. He didn't care. He thought it was hilarious.
He thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I guess our parents do generally think that. Now, Marty, incredible, developing the storylines.
Yeah.
I love that because it relates to people of all ages.
It really does. I think it does cross generations and genders, by the way. I think a lot of men, because
They're
the
watching.
title, they don't think, and then they start watching it and they get into it.
And I love the fact the clothing. Each outfit is
beautiful.
tailored, no matter what age, what you look like, but each thing. So Miss Summers has done an incredible job.
Yes, Cynthia Summers did a really amazing job and definitely celebrated how each of us are shaped. And we had a hand in being able to make sure we felt comfortable in what she was picking. But once she got into our rhythms, she just
She just
ran
came with
with
it.
it.
Everybody
Yeah.
gets along beautifully.
Yeah.
You are a producer, director, actor, also co-writer of 203 and 303.
Yeah.
Tell me about that, please.
well, because Marty was so encouraging, I had the balls to ask her in season 2 if I could co-write an episode with her. She was like, yes.
Yes.
And then season 3, I asked if I could just write one on my own, and she was amazing. And then I got to direct. I mean, all these things are new for me career-wise, and they all came out of Girlfriend's Guide. And so what an incredible experience.
And the lessons that you learn from each. But there's one more thing I must ask of you, please. The show is about people making a difference in the lives of others. You have an animal charity. Please share with us and how people can get involved with that.
I do a lot of work with Best Friends Animal Sanctuary, and I also do work with Planned Parenthood, and I do work with the ACLU. But I feel like Best Friends Animal Sanctuary, everybody can get on that train. It's less controversial. They're an amazing group. They have this beautiful ranch in Utah, and they do everything from helping local rescue groups in major cities find a way to work together and to work with the ASPCA, as well as they go into war-torn areas, disaster sites, and they rescue animals that have been stranded by whatever disaster that is.
That's amazing.
They're incredible. And I've known them now for about 20 years, and they mean what they say and they do what they say they do.
Love that. Now, I'm up close to you. You're absolutely stunning, but I did read that you weren't allowed to have any plastic surgery for the show. What was that all about? May I ask that?
Yes, the head of our
Stunning.
The head of our like the top of the pyramid that runs UCP and Bravo and all those companies is Bonnie Hammer, and she, when I got this job, the first message I got from her was to please not to touch my face, which I don't anyway, but what has happened a lot is that women of a certain age start to panic and they start doing all kinds of crazy injections, and they end up showing up to work not looking like the person that they hired.
And also for the role of the character as well. Would you agree
I
to?
think as an actor, you have to let your face move. You know, we're telling emotional stories, but that's me. I've got good skin. You know what I mean? Easy for me to say.
Right.
So other people are dealing with other things. I don't want to be judgmental, but I think there is a look that you get when you age naturally that is very different from the look that you
Absolutely.
get when you...
Yeah, and the other thing that I'd read is that Sex and the Girl, that was you? You were supposed to have that part?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, that's my business, right? So I was the person they wanted for the role, and my contract was about to go into play, and then Sarah Jessica decided she wanted to do it. And she was a movie star. So, and I think she was probably the producer's dream choice that he never thought he'd get. And so I was the choice he was going to hire. So they had to pay me and finish her negotiation.
Not bad. What's next for you?
Bad. I was very
You would have to, but you know what? In a way,
it's
look where
only-
you are now,
It's
though.
only out because Darren Star talked about it. And so when I talk about it, it seems like
It
I'm
brings
still holding
back.
a grudge,
Yeah,
which
no,
I'm
no,
not.
you're not at all. Not with all the success. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
Take a quick. Sorry, I hope it's okay. Great question.
No, you asked great questions.
Thank you. I'm here with the beautiful Bo Garrett. Many of you might have recognized her because she was a guest model.
I was a long time ago.
She sure was. She was in Tron,
was.
which I saw.
Yeah? Did you like it?
Of course, it's
Yeah.
fantasy, and I think everybody loves that. And then you came on to other things. Did you do Criminal Minds?
I did. I did a season of Criminal Minds. It was a spin-off of the original show. Ironically, with Janine Garofalo, who was in the first season of our show.
Played a lot, right?
And it was great. We had a great cast. Fun time. Short-lived, but fun.
And now you're playing Phoebe.
I am playing Phoebe. I had been playing Phoebe for quite a while. Now we're done.
But
Done
I have
shooting, at
to
least.
talk to you a little bit about the role. More of a free spirit, the champagne girl.
Yes, she's definitely a free spirit. Lighthearted. She's just a kind of a big-hearted, lighthearted woman.
Now, I know your concept of beauty is more of nature. Is that correct?
Very much. You got me pegged. Yes, I'm very much a nature
She's
girl.
beautiful, but she's a nature girl.
I'm a nature girl.
Hikes, yoga.
Yes, lots of hiking, lots of yoga. That's Lisa.
And hi, Lisa. That's Lisa Edelstein on our show.
I know her.
I wanted to talk to you, too, a little bit about your set design,
Yeah.
because I was so impressed with the bar
Yeah.
and the windows. Tell me a
That was
little bit about
beautiful.
that house.
On the show.
Yes, yes.
In my house or just overall?
I haven't been to your house, but on the show.
Oh, on the show. Okay, on the show. We had such an amazing team of people to design everything, and I think that they wanted obviously to make it as LA realistic as possible in Vancouver. So with like Abby's house, it was all these windows and modern and chic, and mine was more of like a Los Feliz bungalow.
That bar.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I loved it.
know.
The other thing too I noticed was the Pucci clothing. Are you comfortable in that?
In Pucci? Yes.
Yeah. Why not, right?
I mean, who's not comfortable with Pucci?
And what's next for you? I know the show is going to be
Show
ending.
is done. I started a new show called The Good Doctor that we're shooting right now, and back in Vancouver. And so we're currently shooting episode number 3. So that will be out at the end of September.
Do you remember your audition
For which one?
for this show?
For this show? I will never forget it.
What impacted you most? I'm also SAG actress,
Yes.
and I love to ask people those questions.
There's a few things. One of which was I had bought a new dress for it, which I never do. And I kind of was mad at the audition already for having to spend money. And then I went in, and it was this room of really kind people. And I remember after the audition, they clapped. And I'd never experienced that before. And it continued through when I tested.
That was
up
it.
until when we were on the show, and we always applause on our set. So
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
You're
thank
lovely,
you.
and I look forward to seeing future shows.
Thank you.
Thank
nice to meet
you.
you.
I feel privileged to be standing next to Robbie Ludwig. I love you.
Oh, thank you. It's so nice to be here. Thank you.
Now, today's topic, divorce, but I think it's also about love. What are your reflections on that, Rob?
Well, I think everybody wants to find love and the right kind of love, and sometimes it's a process. So I think it's important for people never to give up for what they're looking for, and if things don't work out, figure out why that happened and move forward in a different way.
Great advice. What appeals to you about the show?
I like the good writing. I like the way the actresses interact with one another, and it's just good content. So what's there
It's
not to
fun.
like?
You know what I like? I like the messages.
Yeah.
What message most imbued you with power?
Well, I do like how women support one another, and I think that's really important in terms of living a successful life and a happy life. So it's women supporting each other on their journey through whatever it is that they're trying to create for themselves.
And I love those lessons. Delia's saying you don't have to be married to be in love.
Absolutely. And I think as people get older, they realize they don't need marriage necessarily to be committed. And you really have more options when you're in midlife. As I talk about in my book, Your Best Age Is Now, because it's not about getting married and having kids in this pressured notion of what you need to create for yourself. It's really about who you are and what works for you and what kind of person you're looking for.
So it appeals to people of all ages. Let me close this by asking you, what's the best piece of advice you were ever given, and by whom?
Oh, gosh. Probably my mother's advice.
I knew it was going to come down to
She
mom.
has a lot of good advice, but I think something that's very powerful is bloom where you're planted, because you might not always be where you want to be, but certainly if you can make the most out of it and appreciate where you are, it certainly helps you get to where you want to be.
Oh, thank you so much. Love it, and I love your advice.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm
Thank
with
you.
Mindy and Paula Shapiro, and you've probably seen them on Bella. I know I have.
Hi, Gail. It's nice to meet you.
Oh, it's a pleasure. This is exciting. What are you most looking forward to today?
Well, we're all about the fashion, and we love all the white outfits, so that's what we're most looking forward to seeing today.
Oh, and of course, it was Miss Summers who does all the clothing for the show. What are some of your favorite outfits from the show?
Well, we love when the girls wear jumpsuits. I think a jumpsuit is a girl's best friend, and it's a good alternative to a dress, and just pops of color.
And today turned out to be a beautiful day. It's a little humid, but what do you think of all this white? Is it incredible?
We always say no one gets noticed more than a girl in white, so I wish we could do it all the time, actually.
I think that's a very good point. And do you watch the show?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We
Who's your
really like it.
favorite character and why?
I don't know. That's a hard question. I don't like to pick favorites. As twins, we never pick favorites because when we were little girls, my mom didn't like us getting one, feeling better than the other.
Like left
So
out.
we say everyone has their own spot and own place.
Well,
in our
let me ask you this, because I do ask the tough questions. Who are you most like, do you think?
Ooh, that is a tough question. Mindy, what would you say? Well, I think
Yeah, you could speak.
Yeah.
for
Okay. I
us.
think. I think the actress Bo Garrett. I think as far
Yes.
as the way she looks in
Yes.
real life, we like to dress a little bit like boho and in those kind of maxi dresses, and it seems like she embraces that look. So
She wears a lot of poochie.
and everyone loves a little.
I like fashion too. But you're right, and she's into yoga and very much natural.
Yeah, she's relate to her in that way.
Yeah, and you look like her. You really
Oh, that's a
do.
big compliment. I'll take that. Thank you.
They're beautiful. Can you imagine? Double mint.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Well, I look forward to seeing you inside, and you're a pleasure. I hope I didn't put you too much on the spot.
No, not at all. That
You're
was great.
okay? Okay. Good. Thank you so much. A pleasure.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
One of my favorite people from the Garden City Hotel is Sarah Ann Bingerman. Hi.
Hi, Gail. I'm so happy to see you here today.
This is
Such a fun party.
This is exciting. You know, you were the first person to tell me about Girls Guide to Divorce, and I've been trying to catch up ever since.
I binge watched it on Netflix. I didn't even get a chance to see it on Bravo because, schedules get busy. And then it was winter day, nothing to do, snow day, and I watched all 3 seasons. It was amazing.
Why do you think it's so popular?
Because it's really relatable, whether you're divorced, married, single, whatever. It's like the Sex and the City of 2017.
Absolutely. And did you know that Lisa was supposed to get that part?
Yes, I know. She was supposed to play, the original Carrie, and then years later she ended up becoming the new Carrie Bradshaw.
Is that amazing? You know what I like too is that there are always these points that they make after the different shows or during it. For example, with Barbara, you have to knock on the door before you enter Barbara's house.
Absolutely.
What are some of the messages you've gotten from them? Do you remember any of them?
Well, I guess the episode that resonated the most with me was the last one because of the camaraderie of the girlfriends during the wedding, and how even though bad things happened, they all ended up sticking together and pulling through, and that's what real friendship is all about.
Absolutely right. What about the sets, the costumes? I'm so impressed with the outfits.
Yeah, it's high fashion. It's beautiful.
Well, thank you so much. And you're here today representing Garden City Hotel and yourself as a fan.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the issue and see our ad, and we just love Bella.
And we love you. Thank you, Sarah. I'm here with the
Sarah.
beautiful Alexandria Schneff. You're one of the sponsors for today, aren't you?
Yes, we are. Long Island Sports Cars in Roslyn, New York.
Last time I saw you, we were on the runway together.
Oh, yes, we were. I made my debut.
And you were terrific. Did you buy the dress?
I did. I said yes.
You said yes to the dress.
Yes.
I love it. Oh, that's fabulous. Tell me about today. What are you expecting?
Well, I hope we have a lot of our great friends join us today to celebrate here in the Hamptons. Southampton Social Club is a great venue. Everyone's looking great in white, especially you, Gail.
Oh, my goodness. Have you ever seen so much white? What about the show? Are you a fan of the show?
I actually am a fan. Probably one of my guilty pleasures. I think I started season 1 about 4 weeks ago, and I'm pretty much through every season. So,
Who do you most identify with, Alexandra?
I think each of the women certainly have a characteristic that I can identify with in a certain capacity. So that's why I think I like the show so much.
Okay. Remind me of Phoebe a little bit. Is that fair?
Maybe a little bit.
Well, we'll see you later. We're going to be inside later on, having a lot of fun.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's always fun to see people you haven't seen in a short time, but you love to see anyway. Matthew, what I want to talk to you a little bit today before we get into the show, I want to talk to you a little bit about your ties, your shoes. Just now, you showed me a pair of heels. They're hot.
Thank you. Thank you. And you mentioned the first product I ever made and the last product I've ever made. The ties, yes, I started with men's fashion, but it's always been a dream of mine to make shoes. And I recently had that opportunity, and they are coming out the gate swinging.
Well, I just saw one pair of shoes, but they were black, they were white. I love the pattern. Now, you're designing every single thing?
Yes, I actually create the textile, I create the prints, I create the artwork, so they are completely original. Yeah, and I amend the artwork a certain way to make it look beautiful on a shoe. The two-tone looks or the asymmetrical look. I don't think both shoes should have to look the same. I think they should look different. So that's just one of the things I've been doing with them.
What is your background in art that you are so talented? It's natural for you, though.
I get this question a lot. I actually am a banker. I have an MBA in finance.
I didn't know that. I know makeup, but I didn't know anything about that.
I was an analyst on Wall Street for about 6 years. And one day I was a product of the recession. And I decided that I didn't want, my future to be decided by someone else. I was tired of making money for other people. So I decided to go on my own. It was a total struggle, but I made it.
But where did this creativity come from? You've always been this creative. That's what I really want to know.
That's why I'm getting into that whole story. I come from a long line of artists in my family. My uncles are artists. I've come from a family of milliners and shoe repairmen. So it's in my blood. And it was, the one thing I wanted to actually chase, but I figured, there's more security in banking. Wow, I was wrong.
Isn't that amazing? And this is the time for it. All right, where can people find you?
They can find me and my designs at goambro.com. That's GOAMBRO.com. You can see everything there. You can also check on behind the scenes. That's where all my personal things are, where I have my writing columns and I have my makeup artistry that I also do, which is how
He's fantastic with makeup.
Thank you. And that's actually how I made the segue from banking to fashion was makeup. I was learning makeup while I was working for UBS. And I started in that industry after I left UBS.
Very quickly, do you know of the show? And tell me what you know of it.
I've seen Sarah Ann come to these events, and they always look extraordinary, and there's always a great group of people here, so I'm pretty excited. And
I hope you like the color white. Or the absence. Wait, isn't that the absence of color?
Yes, right, true. And I love color, but I was actually shopping yesterday for an outfit here, and I not intentionally chose everything that was black. The only one item that I have on that I got yesterday that's white, is this shirt.
Well, it looks great. Thank you so much, and I'm going to see you inside, and I want to check out the shoes.
Thank you, Gail.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.